let's talk about some of the impact or some of the effect
Yep.
and some of the maybe pushback you may have gotten in the organization.
Sure. So let's start with the good things, and for once, it actually energized the folks internally. Because for so long, and it's very common to hear, pharma is a regulated industry, and therefore we're very restricted at what we can do. And it's absolutely true that we're highly regulated, and there are a lot of considerations that have to go into developing communication and content. But there is a lot that can be done to make it more understandable. And so by engaging folks across the organization, by bringing them to these co-creation sessions, by allowing them to hear what patients are telling us, it really opened a completely new horizon for us on how we can ultimately do our job better. Because at the end of the day, we're all patients, and people take special pride when they're wearing their professional hats, but at the same time they know that they're doing something really good. So organizationally, internally, it really has had very positive impact. Our patients really like it, because at the end of the day, we're developing materials for them, with them. And so when we take it, and our process is that after we co-create, we actually hold validation sessions with different set of patients and external partners, because once you work on something for 3.5 days, you really feel like it's your baby, and it's absolutely the best that it can be. And so it's very important to get a perspective from others. And so when we bring it to those other folks, they totally recognize that it truly has been developed for them, and there is a lot of appreciation for that. One of the favorite quotes that we've gotten from one of the patients was, "Your materials make being sick easier," and there can be the higher compliment than that.
Right. Now, the theme of the conference is move beyond the buzzword, and a lot of people listening to that may at first think, what does that specifically mean? Can you share, and your project is very specific.
Yes.
And can you share an example
Yes.
of the UPL and how it's being used?
Yes, so we're relentlessly practical, and that's been our motto from day one. So if you're to go to upl.org, there are 4 case studies that are extremely tangible case studies, and they range across a variety of topics. There is a garden analogy metaphor that was developed to explain immuno-oncology as new modality in treating cancer, and that was done in a co-creation session with nurse educators. We completely reimagine how we communicate safety information for patients by introducing information, covering the same content by introducing very specific information hierarchy, using the iconography to bring people's attention to certain areas, bringing one of the UPL principles is to share quantified, qualified data. And so when we talk about common side effects, we're actually bringing percentages in to give people a frame of reference for how likely certain things are to happen. So that's another great example. There is a level learning tool around how to interpret clinical trial results, which can be used across any therapeutic category and is not specific to a brand. And then there is a case study around how we completely redone the mechanism of action for one of our rheumatoid arthritis drugs. So there are a lot of really concrete examples.